Hey, quick thing before we get started. If you're on a product team listening to this and your team is burning 10 or more hours a week on manual status updates, data pulls, or other repetitive workflow BS, we're taking 3 teams through a free workflow audit before the end of January. On the call, we'll show you exactly where you're bleeding time and how to automate it. If you want us to build it for you after, we can talk. If not, you keep the audit and you can build it yourself. But here's the deal. We're only doing 3 because that's all we have time for. So if you want one, go to the link in our show notes and grab a spot before someone else does. All right, back to the show.
Do you do much demoing of your software?
No, not really.
Okay. Let me tell you, anytime that you do demos, it's you do black magic. Anyway, hey everybody, this is Prompt and Circumstance. My name's David.
And I'm Elon.
And today, we're going to walk you through how to create your very first AI agent. All right, so I'm sure everybody here has heard of AI agents, and it'd be really cool to, I think, show everybody how easy it is to make one today. And by an AI agent, we actually mean an agent, as in one that would autonomously decide which tools to use in order to accomplish what the user is asking. And by the user, we mean you. This is going to be an executive assistant for you. Everybody gets an executive assistant. How about that?
Sounds amazing. We're sponsored this week by Querio. Have you ever felt frustrated because you were unable to get data answers to your product questions? Querio's AI agent solves that by sitting on top of your data stack and allowing you to ask natural language questions and getting instant answers so that you can know exactly what's going on in your product. You can try today by going to querio.ai. Let them know that David and Elon sent you for 2 months free of their Explore product. That's $1,000 value. All right, and today we're going to use N8N, which is a tool we've talked about before on the podcast and is one that we think is really valuable for product folks and different teams who would like to experiment with building AI agents. So let's give it a whirl.
Yeah. And I think you all might be surprised by just how easy it is to set this up. You don't need to know any kind of code at all.
That's right. So we're going to create a new workflow. And I will say the N8N AI assistant is pretty good. But for today, we're going to build this from scratch. So we're going to add a first step. And we're going to directly add the AI agent. And there's nothing else that we need to do here. So we're just going to click outside of the area in the gray to come back to this view. And for our agent, we need some specific things. So the agent needs a brain for it to function, right? How is it going to think? And that's the chat model that we give it access to. So in this case, I'm going to give it access to the OpenAI chat model. And I have an OpenAI account. I'd recommend using GPT-4o or a later model. The ability for an agent to truly reason has only become possible in these later releases from OpenAI and other providers. So if you're going to do this, try using a model that's been released within the last, I would say, 9 to 12 months.
Now, does it matter whether it's 4.0 or 4.0 mini?
In our case, 4.0 mini will actually work. So let's use that because it's a little bit cheaper and it'll have enough power for the use case that we have today. Now, this agent that we are going to build is going to be able to access your email and your calendar and answer questions about those 2 things. How useful would it be to be like, hey, what emails did I not respond to today that I probably should have? Or can you draft responses to my unread emails at the top of my inbox?
You know, that latter use case is one of the major value propositions of some businesses where, you know, it's a human doing that they would be looking through your emails and drafting responses. So this is a really big deal.
Absolutely. So AI agents have a few things that they need. One is a goal that they're given. A second is a brain that allows them to think. And then the third is tools that it has access to in order to accomplish those goals. And so we're going to start adding tools here. And of course, we need the Gmail tool. And I have an account already set up here. And the operation we're going to use is get many. So it will be able to get many emails from your inbox.
And if you don't have an account set up, you can just walk through the wizard. It's very straightforward.
That's right. We're going to add a second tool, which is the calendar. And same deal, we're going to allow it to get many events from the calendar. So we've added the calendar, we've added Gmail, and we have a brain. We're going to add one more tool here, which is important, and it's called the Think tool. And the Think tool basically acts as a scratch pad for the agent while it's doing an operation, while it's answering a question or performing an action that you've asked it to. And we don't need to change anything in the description, but that Think tool is an important piece because agents have very poor short-term memory. So as soon as it starts doing something, it'll forget why it was doing that. And the Think tool is where it's going to write down its plan and maintain that and update it over time.
I think I could use a think tool sometimes because I'll wander into a room with something in my hand and I'll be like, "What was I doing here again?"
Yeah, and then you walk back to wherever you started from, being like, maybe if I'm back there, I'll
Yeah,
remember.
it's like, oh, that's what it was. I needed a scratch pad.
The room you came from is your Think tool. The last thing we're going to do here is we're going to give our agent memory, and that just lets it know what was the previous request that it got and how did it answer. And we're just going to use N8N simple memory here. Nothing fancy. All right. And our agent is almost ready. David, there's one thing missing here. What's missing?
What could be missing? Could it be the output?
We're actually missing the system prompt.
Oh, that's right. You need to tell the agent what it is.
That's right. So our agent doesn't have any context about what its purpose is. So we skipped that step. So we're going to go back into this AI agent. And under options, we're going to give it a system message. And we're going to give it a structured message telling it its role. So it's a helpful assistant who will help manage a user's calendar and email. And we're telling it that its job is to complete the user's request end to end using the available tools. We're going to give it a core loop, which is what it has to accomplish. And very key here, our core loop does not describe specific steps to take with the tools. Instead, it tells it to make a plan based on what the user asked, execute the plan, review the results of its execution, update the plan, and then finish only when it has completed the user's request.
It's like an AI version of what Deming would be telling people.
That's right. And we've also given it some rules. So how should it use the tools that it has access to?
And that's expressed in Markdown format.
Yeah, I like using Markdown format. It makes it really easy for LLMs to understand hierarchy. So, you can have headings and subheadings and then bullet lists. So this is important for LLMs for them to just understand that like this is one block of context, this is another block of context, and this is another block of context. And it doesn't treat everything at the same level. And that's it. And so we have a chat window here at the bottom, and we can try out our agent. David, should we see what's the last thing you emailed me?
Yeah, let's have a look.
All right. And here you have it. The agent has responded. It took a look at what the last email that David sent me was. It was to me and somebody else named Rhythm. And he said, thank you for making this such a successful night. We're going to say to draft a message to Rhythm and David, thanking them both. And there we go. We've got our draft, and it should be saved in our drafts in Gmail as well.
Excellent. Now, the people watching this, you'll notice that this chat has been inside of N8N the whole time. But
Hmm.
that doesn't have to be how you interact with it. There are so many integrations that N8N has. So you can be doing this through WhatsApp, for example. Like imagine talking to your AI assistant through WhatsApp just while you're, commuting on the train, for example. This can be very powerful for you.
That's right. I have a version that works with Telegram where I can just send a voice note telling it what I'm looking for, and it will respond to me in just a few seconds.
Awesome. All right, Elon. So yeah, with that very cool workflow that you put together in N8N, what do you think about making it available to our audience to just grab themselves if they didn't want to follow along or they got stuck somewhere?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great idea, David. So we'll include a link in the show notes, and you can grab the file that will be at that link, and you'll be able to upload it directly into N8N, and the workflow will be done for you. You can just customize it to your Gmail and calendar accounts.
Well, thanks for walking us through all of this, Elon. I hope our audience can see just how simple and easy it is to create their own AI assistant, their own executive assistant that can take care of their email and their calendar.
That's right. And hopefully, this gives you some ideas of other ways that you might want to use an agent going forward.
Exactly. Yep. So get started today.
And you'll notice in our show notes, we have a link for N8N. That's a referral link. If you click that, you'll get 2 free weeks of N8N. So try it out.
All right. So that wraps it for this week. We hope to see you next time and leave us a rating, subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
See you next time.